I think the best example, there are two in the UK recently. HSBC partnered with a company called Bud, very similar to us. So on a high level, they saw the strategic change of open banking coming into Europe. It's very similar to open APIs in Hong Kong. They saw that consumer adoption could be significant. This can be a threat, or it can be an opportunity. Senior management chose to make it an opportunity. They recognized that, as I said, the battleship is not quick. So they partnered with someone who was quick, right? And that, the idea was that the little boat will guide the big boat. They launched a app into the market with good technology, quickly, with the HSBC brand name. It was well regarded. It was well received. When open banking became something, they were one of the first banks with a product out live in the market. At that point, senior management have achieved their objective, right? The challenge for the working level people, right? Well, I think a lot of these projects have to be driven at a more senior level, because that project does not directly tick any boxes in terms of selling more things, making more money, cutting costs, right? This was something that they felt made sense at the top level. It was a big change in the financial world. You open a Financial Times, it's in there every day, right? So they wanted to do something. To make it work on the working level, I think generally, if you go there, it has to be something about either making more money or cutting costs, right? There tends to be an aggressive focus on those things, because that's what the people are hired to do. What you see more and more is, this top-level strategy thing, and then the KPIs at the operational level, and then the technology implementation are at odds with each other. You'll see a CEO in the news saying, we're going to digitally transform, and we're going to build everything around the user, and we're going to build a holistic experience. But every single person who reports to him has a KPI to sell more stuff or to spend less, right? So ultimately it doesn't feed down. And then at the engineering level, they have 2 years of backlog, right? So I really think the success case comes when everything lines up, where everyone in the bank knows it makes sense. And the HSBC scenario in London, they had a very clear strategy. Everyone from top to bottom knew they had to execute it. And then NatWest, I think also RBS with Bow, I can't remember, something, one of the British banks just released Bow, I think it's RBS. Bow is the same thing, it's their digital challenger bank. It's the same situation, that on the top level, maybe the working level did not quite align. But what they did with Bow was to say, okay, well, we work again with an outside company, because this is something where maybe the people who are the head of the mortgage division or the head of loans are not the right people to execute the strategy. Maybe it makes more sense to partner with a startup like us or someone else, right? And that's easier to get it done. And I think that's what we've seen. Either everything has to line up, which is rare, or they decide they're going to partner with someone. It's a top-level decision. And they're going to say, okay, all of those KPIs still stand, but this is a separate project. PayMe of HSBC, another example. They started an entirely new team because it didn't match. If you went to the payments team at HSBC, they'd say, we're going to make a payment thing for free. That's insane, right? On some level, they're probably being told to make 20% more money that year or something. The way to achieve that is not to make it free. But that was something that they wanted to do at the highest level, and so that's what they did.